I'm back.
Back. So Ruben, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk with Mauricio and see what days do you use Andrew again?
Fridays.
Fridays, okay. So let me find out.
Let me just go to the restroom very quick.
Okay. Alright, so I called the administrators and I said, why haven't they called a year yet? And it's like they're not allowed
Hold on. Okay. What's so taking too long?
We're not gonna do it for this one, but I did want to put a Schoology thing on here for class.
Schoology.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Like, I mean, I know I'm doing it on Thursday, but I don't like coming in midweek. I don't think it's an easy thing to do. Okay, hold on. I'm typing something really fast. So wait 1 second, guys. What are the kids' sport clubs today? Yeah, it's a healthy living. Movie club and girls club.
We're live. We're live. I think I'm stealing that from somewhere. I need to figure it out, right? It's like a movie or a TV show where they're going da-da-da, da-da-da. Anyway, guys, we are live with Erica Ishii, who is an incredible actor and voice actor or actress. I don't know what term you prefer.
Incredible acting!
You prefer she, right?
She, they.
Yeah. Cool. She and they are the voice of Anna Bray in Destiny 2, Amanda in Dream Daddy, that sounds so dirty, and Ruth Zhang in Cyberpunk, among so many other things. But those are the top that we start y'all with. Welcome.
Hi! Oh my god, it's just so nice to catch up with you. I haven't seen you since... Oh my god, like it's
I want to say since it can't be since we played with Brian Day.
Since we played D&D together, it's been that long! Or we'll wait.
I feel like I see you on social media, so I feel like I interact with you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And we've texted with Anjali a little bit, so maybe that's like what we think is our interaction in person, but it's not. Dude, your blue hair looks rad. Can you tell us all about it?
Thank you. Yes. So I did, sort of social media promotion for the election, for the Georgia special election, and I said, hey, please go out and vote. Let's flip the Senate blue. If we flip the Senate blue, then I will wear this wig for a week, including 2 voiceover sessions where they can see me. And some people were like, oh, you reminded me to vote. And I was like, oh, that's amazing, that's perfect. And we have a blue Senate, and so I am a woman of, I'm a person of my word. You know?
Woman of blue. Would you dye your hair blue for
That's the
Rosie?
thing. I mean, I always wanted the red streaks, you know? And
You could pull them off. You could pull any color off.
I feel like, but it's just like, you know, it would require, you know, bleaching and like maintenance and then, you know, like more headshots and everything. But like, I mean, it's funny, because, Taliesin, my friend Taliesin Jaffe, who like shaved my side shave first.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a gateway haircut, you know, like you're gonna want to do all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, oh man, now I do want stuff. But yeah, speaking of hair, like we go to the same guy, our favorite.
Yes.
And his head so much. Like my side shave is like starting to like get wonky on the side.
Get a little crooked. But you do your own, right? Do you like clean it up yourself?
I do, and I'm you know, starting to learn I can do like the 3 lines, but Ed could do our guy, for those who don't know, Ed is just the best hairdresser. He's a sweet guy, and there's actually Anjali and Carolina did a really hilarious video for the first time that you got your side shave done. You brought the little sombra doll, and you were like, this, I want this.
What I need. Yes.
And yeah, so he did like, I went to him first because I needed like a tentacle in my hair for like a Kraken rum party, sponsor party. And so like, he was like, yeah, I can do that. And so there's like pictures of, you know, there's like tentacles, or like he did dice for when I went to Gen Con for D&D.
Oh my gosh, he's really talented. Do you know what's funny about him though is when he went to go do my side shave, as he comes at me with the clipper thingy, whatever it's called, his hand's doing this, and I'm like,
really?
I don't know how you trust you, man. It's like a little shaky. It's a little shaky, and then you know he's going in doing the designs, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna look like I got in a fight with a lawnmower, and then it's this beautiful design because he's really good.
It's like he comes in like Edward Scissorhands, where you're just like, oh god, and then yeah, amazing. Oh,
well, so guys, Erica was the one who. I mean, I've been wanting the side shave for a while, and we were doing the D&D campaign with Brian and Amelia, and.
Thinking about it, like I kind of want. I'm like, do it. I recommend my guy.
And you said you will not. You said you'll never go back, but you said you won't regret it. And I was like, okay. Also, though, you were the one who gave me the idea of doing the fundraiser. Like, I've never cut my hair for charity. Nobody's ever wanted to see a haircut on me for charity. So I'm really glad that I took you up on it. And I thought, okay, we'll raise $200. I really thought that's what's going to happen. And so I just kind of threw the video up on social media, like, hey guys, who would want to, you know, donate money to see me get the sombra haircut? And all of a sudden people are like saying $500, $1,000, $5, and we raised $14,000.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't know if you want to see me bald, Kylon doll. I don't want to see myself bald. Maybe for a role, but maybe I'll do another side shave, like a cool mohawk.
Oh my god, mohawk would be awesome. I feel like you could pull off shaving my head. I definitely want to. That is like a goal. Like I want to get my hair like all cut off for like a role or something.
But I want, you know, a TV show to pay me a ton of money to shave my head for that role. I don't want to just go, oh yeah, that's easy, boom.
Okay, well, because it takes like forever to grow back, and then you have to, and then yeah, I mean, I guess you either have to wear wigs or just wait for it to grow back in order for, because then you can only get specific roles, you know. It's hard when you're an actor, an on-camera actor.
You know what though? I comb my hair to the other side, and I've booked, you know, commercials and stuff with normal hair, and it's fine. You know, you look. I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I look like normal without my little side shave.
Right.
Yeah. So I did. It's funny. Rainbow Team 12 is saying I should dye my hair purple. I offered to dye it purple for charity this year, and the donations that came in were not from Sombra fans. We got some donations, but they were all related to. I help my family once a year to run a fundraiser for a school in Colombia for kids from low-income families, and so a lot of the donations came in from friends and family, and I was like, this year the purple ain't gonna happen, so maybe in this future.
Yeah. That's another thing. It's like during quarantine, everybody's been thinking about doing stuff to their hair. And you know, the joke was like, watch out, you're gonna get bored and want bangs. But for me, I was like seriously considering. I was like, oh, I could just like dye my hair.
You also, like Erica, you on camera, you do a lot of really awesome spunky roles. I want to talk about the God, it's not circus. What's it called? The awesome TV show that's kind of like magical and not circusy. What's the word? I have it written down.
Yes.
What is it?
Carnival Row?
That thing, Carnival. I'm like circus carnival.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I was working with Nerdist, you know, doing sort of hosting stuff, and they sent me and a couple other hosts to Prague to the set during reshoots, and it was the idea.
Prague?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Prague so much. It's one of my favorite cities in the world now. It's, you know, aggressively picturesque. You know, everything is like, we get it. You're a postcard, and anything that you see shot from like the 1700s anywhere in Europe is actually shot in Prague, because like it's one of the few cities in Europe. Well, not one of the few cities, but it's one of the cities in Europe that still has the original Baroque architecture, and it's so gorgeous. And like we were there during the winter. I got to see snow falling from the sky for the second time in my life. 'Cause I'm an LA girl.
Dude, I thought as a South American that I was late to the game. The first time I saw snow, I was 14. But I guess, yeah, if you're from the West Coast.
It was going to Canada in, like, for a live stream with friends, like, maybe 5 years ago. And I was just like, it's so soft. It's like, and it's so silent. Like,
yeah, it is. There's something magical about first snowfall where you walk out and you're like, it's so weird.
so nice. But Prague,
how long were you in Prague working on that?
So we were there for about a week, and it was, you know, this was before season 1 came out, and I think it got canceled in the end, and like in the end, like season 2 after season 2, but it was really magical, because, you know, we had the idea was that we were making these sort of D&D characters, these RPG characters. Like we come up with them, and then the showrunner, Travis would he'd like help us with our characters. He's like, oh, I think you should do this. And then the wardrobe department would dress us up like the characters, and then we would get to be sort of like featured. We would be like extras in the show. And so we were there, you know, and we also interviewed my friend Elisa and I interviewed Cara Delevingne, who was just the loveliest human. It was so early in the morning, and it was literally freezing. Like the water in the pond had like frozen over, and like she was freezing, but she was just so gracious. And so I got to be like this like assassin fairy. It was really cool, and so you can see me in the background.
An assassin fairy.
I was like, this is my final form. This is it, you know. And they had like cool. They like put cool like extension braids in my hair, and like
those are such cool roles, because they're just so like edgy and different and crazy.
And that's the thing. It's that like the hairdresser. He was like, oh, because you know a lot of them have wigs and everything. He's like, oh, I really like the side shave. It like is like punk and fits the character. So we're just gonna give you extra extensions and braids and like beading on this side. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, you know, it's funny before getting the side shave, I thought it would limit the auditions I could get. But honestly, it kind of just either like specifies certain roles coming at us because it's so edgy, you know, which is real, but at the same time, you could just, you know, I have headshots from both sides, and then it's almost like it just helps you. They go, oh, let's see her. She had the balls to shave the side of her head. She's got to be gutsy in some way or another.
Yeah. So now mine has gotten long enough and like unlayered enough so that I can like do the thing where you put it, but like. Yeah, did you notice that before you got the side shave that you were going out for like roles and you'd see women that look exactly like you in the waiting room, but then afterwards it's more like diverse because it's just like punk, edgy girls, right?
Yeah, exactly, totally. Oh, so interesting. But also it just like, there's something about walking in the room with a side shave that people like pay attention. There's, you know, I would forget it that I'd just gotten it, and I'm like, oh right, I have a side shave, and I think people automatically start making assumptions about you, like tats, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got to be like badass.
Yeah.
I may not be badass at all, but I have a side shave, so all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah.
It does take a certain kind of personality to want to do something like that because it is something unconventional, and especially as an actor too, you know that that's going to put you in a certain category.
For sure.
So
but also, I think that like you and I, we also fit those roles. Like personality-wise, like I love those roles more than like I'm gonna play a lawyer. You know what I mean?
I beforehand, and I talked about this like while we were, because Taliesin shaved it live on a live stream, and I was saying how nervous I was about it because for so long I'd wanted it, but then I was like, well, this will limit my roles, especially since I'm Asian American, and I was always going out for the nice, sweet Asian American nerdy girl sort of a thing, and I'm like, I can't really do those roles if I get a side shave. But I was booking voiceover work, and I was doing hosting and Twitch streaming, and my lovely community was just like, be you, we love that. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, okay. And then I started getting more auditions and for more interesting characters.
well, and you've also embraced that on your Instagram. Guys, if you don't follow Erica, please give her a follow on Instagram. I really loved watching the journey of you sharing, you know, sexier pictures or like doing shoots that are just a little bit,
Yeah,
I don't know the word is, putting yourself out there, but you're writing beautiful commentary about it, explaining it, and it's just like, yeah, man, that's really badass, you know?
Thank you.
It's like coming into your own in a different way and not being afraid to express it, because we are, you know, it's like we control what we put on social media, so it's like, do I put this out there? Is this too much, you know? And it's like, no, man, I'm embracing my sexuality, and it's cool.
It's been great just to be, I mean, I remember, and I'm sure it was like this for you, like when you first got into acting, it was like, you don't share certain things, you don't talk about politics, you don't, like, you know, you keep your private life private, that sort of a thing. But in some ways, like social media and Twitch and just sort of our communities changed all of that, you know?
Yeah.
I was told not to like talk about my sexuality and stuff, or and you know, I was like, well, that's dumb. That's like an old Hollywood sort of a thing, right? You know, where you had to hide if you were gay or something. So you know, it's been wonderful, and it's like I realized too that if you are open and honest about who you are, you attract a community that resonates with, and those are
exactly. It's like dating. Why would you lie on a first date?
Right?
About something, because then you're attracting somebody that wants that. And we all fall into it. We think, oh, I have to maybe try and, oh, he doesn't like this or she doesn't like that. I have to pretend that I, you know,
soften your edges and like, you know, fit into this box. But it's like, nah, I don't want to have to like confess that later. You know, just being as it is, exactly like dating. And you attract the people that you're gonna be.
Yeah, and we gotta have our community of love who you love. Yes, T Control Cooper.
Great.
So hi Brasil's in the house. Tudo bem? Beijos pra vocês. I've seen a lot of comments go by. They want to know how long your real hair is.
Oh man, it's like got so long in quarantine. I haven't had a haircut in over a year now, and so it's like down to here. I mean, when we last like saw each other, I think it was almost this short.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. But then I've got the side shave here. I think like my profile pictures show it too, and it's like it happened very gradually. And then one day I was taking a picture and I was like, dang, my hair got long. And it's like starting to get a little crispy on the ends. So like,
oh, mine is so crunchy you don't want to know. I'll braid my hair sometimes, and then the ends of the braider are disgusting, and I literally just chop the end off because it's so like right now I haven't seen a hairdresser. We're in a pandemic, you know.
Well, and that's what I'm worried about is that it's like, well, we can't read. LA is bad right now. We're not going anywhere. Hopefully, I have that privilege. But like if I also am worried that if I cut it, it's gonna be all uneven and weird and blah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we've been talking about hair and coolness for 25 minutes, and I want you to tell me. I know. I want you to tell me about your amazing voice acting career, dude. I saw you at Abrams once upon a time in the waiting room.
That's right. Yeah, that was when we first.
She badass. And then when you walked into Brian's thing and we were gonna do the D&D thing, I'm like, I know her, but why? Like, I couldn't,
Right.
And then it hit me that it was, waiting to go in for an audition. So, guys, we have the same agents. Yay!
I love H3 so much. Like, honestly, shout out to our agents. They're really great. I just love them, and they feel like family. They're
super supportive and fight for us. But I saw your IMDb has stuff since 1992. Were you recording shit when you were 5 years old? Like, what?
So here's the thing. I did the whole child actor thing. I am a Hollywood kid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You're so grounded and real. It doesn't seem like you're a child actor because we have this idea that they're all brats.
Yeah, and it's funny because actually a couple of my other friends are child actors too. Like Taliesin was Mr. Mom and stuff, and a couple of child actor friends, but. It's funny, a lot of the LA natives are because, we've just lived this life, so we're a little more chill about it. Oh no, Lightning Streaks in 1992, that's when I was born.
It's worse when they say they were born in 2010 and you're like,
girls are beyond. Oh God. But it's a child actor thing. My parents were both in the film industry. My mom was a film editor. My dad was a camera assistant.
What's your heritage?
I am Japanese and Chinese, a little bit Indian, but I'm fourth generation American.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Do you understand the cool writing on your wall?
Oh, that was my last name, Ishii.
Oh, cool. They were asking at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, I got that one custom made because it was neon and cyberpunk and you see random Japanese neon
or tats.
Tats, and I was but I can have my actual name, which is legit.
Fuck yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, one thing in my tree, in the neon, it lights up. Yeah,
that's super cute. I like it. I
live my best cyberpunk life.
Also, your fucking couch is stellar.
Oh my god, I love my couch. Oh, actually, I want to show you something. My friend gave me this, and I gotta show you.
Guys, isn't she adorable? Look at her. She's geeking out over
a new member of my household. I got a giant Snorlax beanbag. A friend was hey, I'm giving away a giant Snorlax beanbag. Do you want it? I was yes. She's I have no room for it. And I was I live in a 500 square foot apartment. I have no room for it, but hell yeah, I'll take this.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's so cute.
So it's you can fit on him, this all sleep on his tummy.
It's the size of your couch, dude.
I know. I could literally sit on top of him. It's Totoro style.
Yeah.
I love him so much. It's protect the boy.
Yeah. Before we move on, let's also talk about your awesome chair. It's a freaking cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, dude! Look, so CD Projekt Red sent it to me. It's got the Johnny Silverhand, the Oni sort of insignia and stuff, and they were very sweet and sent me a lot of cool swag.
They sent her that because she works in cyberpunk, guys. She does the voice of a character there. I'm loving that we can endorse that we can talk about our secret lab chairs because we're giving one away at the end of the stream. You guys all know this, so stay till the end, please. It'll be right before 1 p.m. Pacific Standard. everyone's welcome to join the raffle. All you have to do is follow me on Insta and follow Secret Lab on Insta. And tell me your favorite voice line of Razor Sombra on the post of my Insta. And tag a friend, because we're just trying to make more people aware of it. But now that I let them know that, talk to me about your cyberpunk character, because that's a badass video game.
It's so funny because, I've always loved cyberpunk. And I remember seeing that original teaser trailer for Cyberpunk and just being like, I love this so much. And back then I was still just doing Twitch streaming and hosting, and I wasn't really doing voice acting. But I ended up getting called in for that. And Ruth she's like a Colbert Report or Daily Show sort of host, where she's like a newscaster, but she's like a comedian.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. They just let me kind of go and get really sarcastic and out there.
What does she sound like?
It's pretty much my voice, but a little more meaner, I guess.
Yeah.
A little sassier, I guess. It was really cool because growing up, I always wanted to have that sort of role of a news comedian, like a commentator. And I got to do it for this cyberpunk world, so it was amazing. And I guess a lot of the lines show up on the loading screens, and so everybody's like, cheers me, and I got so many texts from friends saying oh my god, I've been doing cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But then also originally they brought me in for that character, but then they're like, oh, you can do other stuff. And then I did there's a dollhouse manager, which is sort of like the it's like brothel, I guess. And she, in Cloud, she's so cute. She's got blue hair. She's got these buns, and she's real cute. And that was fun. So I did that character, and then also a Japanese pop singer character. That one was fun. Red Menace, because it was had this super almost racist or Japanese accent, which is I can do an actual Japanese accent, but. And then while she's performing, she has it, but then backstage, she just kind of has my voice,
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Oh my god.
And then a bunch of an Arasaka businesswoman, and then a bunch of random NPCs that are on the street. You bump into them, they're like, "Hey, watch it," sort of a thing.
Well, also though, oh my god, I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
when you're what? Voices. Cyberpunk. I don't know. The fact that we all were working on this, I think, no, maybe it was after doing D&D, but I know that Brian and Amelia worked on it as well. Yeah. So it's
a vending machine. It's so funny. He's so good. They are so good. Yeah, it's so funny because so many people usually when there's a big video game, it's a bunch of our friends end up being on it.
Yeah. Without us realizing, because we all have NDAs, so we can't say, "Oh, I'm working on this thing." It's secret.
Unless we run into each other in the booth, we really literally do not know who else is on a project. Yeah.
What I was gonna say is it was really cool to be in LA and see all these signs at the bus stops for Cyberpunk, and I'm like, I'm in that. Yay!
Character.
Give me one sec, Erica. So Brazil cannot participate in the giveaway, guys. The chairs don't mail to South America or Central America, unfortunately. Most everywhere else, and sadly no India either, but a lot of Southeast Asia, most of Europe, America, Canada, North America, by that I mean the United States and Canada, and yeah, like I said, a lot of Southeast Asia, Sorry, no Africa. So there's places. So the draw will only happen for certain people. Guys, I tried, I really did, but it's Secret Lab rules. I don't make those, and I can't mail you the side of this chair because that'll be like $1,000 to me.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, that's very nice of them to send that though. That's really
right.
Cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
Like honestly, then I'm not paid by them, and it's just. I super love my chair is like comfy and but
you have a following and you were doing streaming, so it is publicity for them because it is freaking comfy.
Oh my god, I really love it. What's your character like in Cyberpunk? I think I saw. You posted footage. Somebody posted footage.
Brian Descartes thought he bumped into me, but that's not me. Everyone thinks that character's me. Everybody thinks.
Right.
Also, everyone asks me if I'm Ruth, which I'm not. I think I auditioned. I had a callback for a big character in Cyberpunk, and I can't remember. Maybe it was Ruth. At this point, it was so long ago. I don't know who it was for.
Ruth, but no, my character or.
Sorry, no, Judy.
Yeah, I can totally see you. Yeah.
Sorry, people think I'm Judy, not Ruth. Duh. She's slightly Hispanic, so they're like, it's gotta be Carolina. It's like, no, there are more Hispanics in the industry. But no, I do just a bunch of random characters that are in gangs. I play an old lady who's like a healer. I don't know in what context you bump into her. So yeah, just a bunch of randos. Yeah. So you were a child actor, but when did you start honing in on like the awesomeness of voice acting? Because on camera kind of makes sense. It's this world that you like, as a kid you watch TV and you're like, oh, but voice acting is, you kind of have to discover it, right? And go, it's this thing where
a lot of voice actors, especially, sort of in the earlier generations, like did other things. They did on camera or radio or musicians. Like almost all of us are like musical in some way. And then they fell into voice acting. It was kind of like, they were like, oh, this is the thing, and I love it. But for me, so I was doing on-camera acting, and then I stopped for a while to do school. I was at UCLA, mass media communications, and actually like I was like, I don't want to do like a daily show sort of a host thing. That was what I wanted to do.
You still could.
I went back to acting after college. I was at Strasberg Institute, the Method School, and UCB, which is like did you do Groundlings? You do?
No, I did one course at UCB, New York. And then I just invent my own sketch comedy. I never
I think of you and your, oh man, that was another thing we did together is we did the sort of like a talent show for A3. Yeah. Oh
wait, okay, so I gotta tell the chat. So we did, our agency like put together a bunch of voice actors to be able to perform at a comedy club here in LA. And I've never done stand-up, but I thought, maybe I'll try to do my characters, my Hispanic flexing characters in a stand-up form. But everybody could get up and just do whatever, sing a song, do a tap dance, whatever. Erica gets up there and frickin' kills it with her violin, and she's doing her thing, but it's a song about Game of Thrones.
The premise, because I used to do, I've done stand-up a couple times, and I'm awful at stand-up, but I can do like a sketch, right? And so I did it with my friends that always write like geeky comedy sketches, sort of like wrote it together, and the premise is that I learned violin so I can learn to play the Game of Thrones song, and it's like, well, then the last season it happened. But anyway, a promise is a promise, and here we go. And so I start playing, and then a little way through, I'm like, and then I start complaining about it. It's like, it just doesn't make it brand, really? And then it just sort of devolves into me. I keep going back to playing, but then I keep it just turns into this rant, and by the end, I'm just like, who do you think should have been king? Great, that any answer would be better than what actually happened.
Exactly.
And just me, just ranting, and it was so much fun, and the room was so warm because everybody was all supportive of each other. So it was just,
also, I hadn't watched Game of Thrones then.
Oh my goodness.
And now I have watched it all, which makes me want to ask you, did you ever film that or record it?
Yeah, they recorded it. They had a recording. Did you
cool.
get I think Ken sent it out.
Oh, I never got it. No, I never got it. Well, I don't want to watch myself barf. But I want to watch yours now that I've watched it, because I remember thinking it was funny not knowing what was going on. And now that I know what's going on, like, I will understand it. And I want to rewatch it because it was so good as you rant up to it. Like, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And so, like, I got back into sort of the comedy scene, and I just fell into hosting, and like around the same time that I started, like, I fell backwards into like nerdy hosting and Twitch streaming. I didn't think that was a thing, and then
what were you hosting?
So I was at Geek and Sundry, as a community-based former company, and I was like on a lot of. They had a whole Twitch channel, and I was a host for like so many of the shows. And I had the gaming show, and because I love gaming, I've always been a gamer, and so I got to talk to so many developers and voice.
Wait, you're a gamer? The chat's gonna go wild. All they want, all my guests to be your gamers.
Surprise! And yeah, actually, that's how I met Anjali. I had her come in. I think Darren introduced us so that I could interview her on my show.
Yeah.
And I just, so I sort of like. Was very sort of in the industry for games, but at the same time, I also was pursuing voice acting because I always wanted to, but it's a very different skill set than on camera, as you are aware.
Absolutely.
There's some people that are incredible on camera actors, but just you don't have their face and the sort of timing, like their facial acting and everything is like what brings their point across a lot, and then you don't have that in voice acting. It's very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, one of us.
Hashtag gamer. Creepy.
And it's so wild because, like, I set out to do voice acting for video games. I always loved, voice acting. I grew up with, like, Animaniacs and the Nickelodeon stuff. And I loved all of the Warner Brothers cartoons, and anime. And so, like, I knew it was a possibility, but I knew it was a big buy-in because, to be honest, like, it's maybe around $1,000 to cut a demo professionally, and then
or more,
acting, or more, and you have to do one for commercial and for character.
And for video games.
Yeah, video games
and for promos if you want.
And promos if you decide to go that way. So it's a lot. And then, lessons and, like, it's a huge buy-in for something different than on-camera acting because I was pursuing that too.
Yeah.
But I think the final straw for me was I played The Last of Us, and that just, I was like, oh my God, we have this new medium of storytelling that is growing up in our lifetime. It's like being there in the beginning of cinema.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that. And so I was like, yeah, I want to do that. That is what I want to do. And so I started pursuing video game, like, voice acting for video games.
Because you have a pretty extensive video game resume.
Yeah, and that's how I sort of got in, was like I started, before I had an agent, I was sort of doing a lot of indie work, like indie video games, and, since I knew a lot of game developers and other voice actors, they'd be like, oh, you have a demo, like, let me, and I know you act, like, I'll put it in the pool and send you auditions.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I kicked in the back door, or something, because, like, nobody has the same voice acting origin story, and mine feels, like, very specific to video games.
Yeah.
It gave me an edge, because, like, I knew what different games were supposed to sound like, and, like, they don't tell you what the games are when you audition, so you're like, I really hope that this is a sort of more serious, grounded Grand Theft Auto thing and not like a poppy JRPG. Like, but you don't know.
You have no idea. Yeah.
You gotta make a strong choice and stick with it. But yeah, it was, sometimes I'd be able to, like, figure out what things were, or I'd, I was just like, oh, I really love this game, and, like, I know how, like, what fits into that world. And yeah, so I ended up, you know, and a huge thing for me was like I called in and I got to do some like atmospheric voices for Last of Us 2, which I was like, oh my God, it's like full circle, you know?
That's rad.
Wild. It was so
Have
wild.
you gotten yet to work on, like, for my dream right now is to work on a Disney animated movie because for you, gaming is for me Disney. Like, I loved all, like, especially like the golden age of Disney when, you know, there was Robin Hood. I consider Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and Lion King just really great ones. Bambi's sad. Let's not talk about Bambi. But I had a crush on Robin Hood. And,
oh my God, that was like everybody's first crush, and like Disney made a whole generation of furries. They knew what they were doing. They didn't need to go that hard and make him hot, like, but they did. I'm sorry, like, you know, I don't identify as a furry. I'm like, it's okay if you do, but like,
I don't either. Exactly.
Was so hot.
Yeah, for sure. He was hot. But so like my dream is like right now Disney is writing a new animation set in Colombia. It's called Encanto. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is writing the music. I know. So I'm like, I'm putting all of my energy. I hound our agents every day to make sure that no matter what happens, I can audition at least for like a rock in the forest. Like I need to be something. A chocolate rock.
Is that happening? Is that
it's announced? It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, it's like the Coco. It's like the Coco set in Colombia. So
is that like, you know, if they, you know, if there is like Disney's so good now about casting appropriately ethnically, and so like the thing is that there's a lot of sort of like celebrities that get like on camera celebrities that get pulled in and stuff, but like hopefully at the very least like you're gonna end up in the Walla group or something, you know.
That's what I mean. I'm like, just let me say like one word. I want to do Walla. Walla's when you just do a bunch of random voices, guys, and it's really, really fun. Yeah. So my question for you was, have you gotten to work on like your dream project? I mean, I guess Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us, but you know, honestly, I want, oh man, there is one project that I like. I have a lot of really amazing things like I get to announce this year, which is I'm just like, okay, all right,
okay.
But it's like, yes, there are some things that are dream projects that I've gotten to work on. But there are still, like Disney is a brass ring. I mean, I can't even imagine getting to be like being in a Disney film and a feature animated would be amazing. My grandfather actually was an animator at Disney back in the day.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
He worked on Fantasia and Dumbo, I want to say. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, Dumbo's also sad. And Fantasia was great until it gets creepy and then they go to hell. And you're like, what?
Super scary and like super metal. So, like, you know. And so it's like, it would be cool to like, you know, continue the family legacy. Disney is a dream, and like working on like mocap for like a Naughty Dog project or big like narrative driven story. You know, I'm just like a sucker for story driven games. So like a Life is Strange sort of a thing, or a you know, Last of Us, or you know, Mass Effect. Just like any sort of real juicy story-based stuff.
You know what's so crazy though? Like we're already in that world, and we keep auditioning for stuff. And even if we didn't book, like I've auditioned for League of Legends so much, but then now I booked, you know, a role in Valorant.
Yeah, Valorant! Oh my God! Yeah, you sound so good in it. I was playing some, like for whatever reason. Like normally I'm terrible at shooters, but like occasionally I can pull off a couple rounds in Valorant. Then it's just like I mean, like, there's, like, one time I, like, yeeted my... left and right, and I won the round for our team. And it's like, and my internet froze for some reason, and so my friend that I was on the line with Someone took a screenshot of me looking like it's printed. Like, it's so funny. I was like,
That's great though. Those were in the moment, you know.
oh my god.
But that was my point though. Like, I was like, oh, well, I'm dying to be in League of Legends, and then I got this, and so now I'm in the Riot circle.
Yeah.
You never know what could come, you know. Like, I hope to audition for Blizzard again in the future. Which brings me to, you're in World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, yeah. That was my first, like, and that's the thing is I started, again, I've been a gamer and a game fan for a long time. Back before I was doing all this, and I was, like, working a bunch of odd jobs, I was doing figure modeling, like, cosplay figure modeling.
Yeah.
For, like, art classes. And I had this teacher that I was working with at Cal Arts, who he said, oh, yeah, I do you know, sculpture classes at this, like, video game company down in Irvine, you know, Blizzard and everything. I was like, take me with you! And so it's like a 3-hour drive, you know? And so I drive those 3 hours to, like, do figure modeling just so I could, like, hang out on campus. And, like,
Finger modeling.
finger modeling. I did, you know, like, I'd have to, like, do posing and stuff, and it's, like, not nude. I never did nude figure modeling. It was only ever, like, cosplay stuff. But it was, like, cool, because, like, you know, their campus is so cool. There's, like, the statues and the art all over the walls. They had this giant library that's got, like, D&D books and games to check out. And I met, and it turns out, like, I to hear my voice in that game. I love doing animation. I love animation. It's like, you know, sometimes you get to do group reads, you know, where you actually are in the booth with other people. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah. And it's just so much fun, and you get, like, so much information about it. You don't have to guess as much. I love animation, but I've gotten to do a couple that I think will be out hopefully later this year.
Okay, guys, keep an eye out. Follow the girl on the Insta and the Twitter. Yeah, those are your top two, right? Yeah. I was going to. Oh, there was a question at the very beginning of the stream. If you've worked for Crunchyroll or if you do anime stuff.
Oh my god. Well, one of my earlier roles was I got to play June from the Dead Moon Circus arc of Sailor Moon for, like, the redub, for the, you know, the redo of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, because you know, there's, like, pictures of me in, like, a Sailor Moon costume when I was younger, and, like, I loved Sailor Moon. I read the comics, I had Lunchbox, you know, and so getting cast in Sailor Moon as, like, a significant character, I still can't believe that. Yeah. And so that's amazing. I missed a lot of sort of anime. A lot of it was non-union and everything, and so I, you know, wasn't able to do it, you know, but, I'm Michelle Luo in, again, like, another crazy thing, in Gundam. Like, I was a lead in a Gundam movie, in Gundam narrative. That is bonkers to me. Like, and, like, watching it, there was a premiere of it, like, in the movie theater downtown.
Oh, what?
So I got to see it, like, to my mom, you know, and my bestie from high school, and it's just wild, because, like, I remember, like, you know, poking at, like, you know, making Gundams, you know, assembling them, poking out little plastic parts, and, like, it's so wild that I got to be part of. It's like, oh, okay, Gundam, Sailor Moon, you know, maybe one day Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, that would be so rad.
It's just, it's so wild to be part of things that I grew up with, you know?
Yeah.
And do you get that too? I mean, are you?
Well, you know what's funny is, like, my cousin's the gamer. He's my same age. He's like a month older than I am, and we looked like little twin boys when we were growing up, because I had the same full haircut as he did, and I used to run around shirtless with him, so we looked like little dudes. And he was the gamer, and he played Zelda and Dragon Ball Z, Donkey Kong, stuff like that. I used to play Mario Karts with him, but he loves World of Warcraft. He loves Red Red Dead. So like recently when I had some of the Red Dead guys on my Twitch, he's like, wait, you know those guys? I'm like, yeah, dude, I worked with them. And it's just funny because like to me, it was a job. And of course I knew I was working on Red Dead and that was super exciting. Right. But like for gamers, he was just like, what?
And it's so funny because, you know, I think a lot of, you know, as I said, a lot of, you know, voice actors in this generation, you know, like fell into it. They didn't necessarily know about it. We're starting to get this sort of like class of people who like specifically sought out voice acting because they were like, they're gamers or like animation fans, whatever. That's like, and it's interesting and it's different, you know, because I did have sort of like the traditional acting, you know, instruction growing up, you know, and I wanted to do on camera, sure, but like I specifically wanted to do acting for video games. And so and so like for me, when I find out what a thing is, I'll like go ballistic. Oh, I was in Marvel Avengers and like
me too.
Oh my God!
I mean, no, doing small stuff, but it was exciting. It was Walla.
Well, so that's the thing. I was doing Walla for it, so you can hear me as like the PA system somewhere and like crowd. But then they were like, "Hey, we would like you to do Maddie Cho," you know, and I was like, "I'm gonna get Cho sister what?" But it was like me and Chris Kahn, who we were in like the Walla session, and we found out what it was, and we were like freaking out about it and like being nerds, and we were like, but well, actually, what characters are in this? Is it like a modern, you know, like the comics world, or is it the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters, or like? So we were just like nerding out. And it's like it's a really exciting time to be a nerd because they've understood that these modern mythologies are you know are just like so important to us.
Absolutely,
and I get to do things what they are amazing.
And like I mean, I think that for me it was more. I loved the voice of Batty Coda in Fern Gully.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it was Robin Williams. And then when I found out he was also the genie in Aladdin, my mind was blown, and I was like, I want to do what he does. Like I just, to me, and then Timon in The Lion King, like is my all-time favorite.
So good.
I want to play a character like Timon. I don't want to play the princess. I want to play a character like Timon, the sidekick. And so, you know, I think that I did work on Big City Greens, which is on Disney. And so for me, it was like, okay, I worked on a Disney animation. Okay, we're getting places, you know.
You're Disney. You're Disney now.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like to think that I would ever. I watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon as a kid. The fact that I've been to record to both of those studios to me is nuts. It's nuts, you know. Yeah, more than the gaming stuff. Erica, let's wrap this baby up. I don't want to keep you much longer. This has been so fabulous. I do have to shout out the subscribers and the fun stuff that's happened. While I do that, give a thought to things that you want to plug. We'll mention your Insta again in the chat and all that stuff. But you know, or any closing wonderful remarks to people about maybe Nerds Vote. We could talk about that.
Oh yes, absolutely. So our friends Courtney Taylor, JP Parliak, who else is involved? Like they just it's mostly those two, but like they have this initiative to get people to register to vote, and it is a nonpartisan. They just want to encourage civic engagement. So definitely follow them. Nerds Vote. Like everybody in the voice acting biz, like is like, we're all like big fans of it. So
and those are organizations that are making a difference in politics.
They register like people, and I love that they are outreach to our community of nerds. Like they'll go to conventions and just like when people come by the booth, they'll be like, "Hey, also are you registered to vote?"
Which I hadn't done. I think I wasn't doing. Or hadn't really connected with Courtney until the pandemic. But now that I'm going to be at cons, hopefully, once we all get vaccinated, that's going to be, sitting next to my prince.
It's funny because I started going to cons as a fan, and then as like host and moderator and stuff. And now it's like, I don't know, would I go as like a guest or as like going like having a booth or something? That's a wild.
You will go as a guest. it's a matter of time in the pandemic, but
Yeah, that's a weird thing to think about. I'm on Twitter a lot at Erica Ishii. I'm on Instagram still a lot.
Yeah, Danny just shared your Insta, so y'all can click on it. Yeah.
Let's see, what do I have right now? I think that's the problem with games. The one problem with games is it's just like it's very rare that you can actually say anything about things in the future, and just there's stuff coming so soon.
It'll come, and then you have something to post, and
Yeah, it'll be good. But follow me, and all will be revealed in due time. Oh yeah, Monster Prom is so much fun. I'm the cat girl in Monster Prom. Yeah.
Is that how she sounds?
Yeah. She's like, money please. It's sort of like a feel,
Oh my God, great.
Yeah, thank you. It was so nice to see you. I'm
Can
so
you-
glad that you're doing all of this, and that you just
Dude.
feel like you're thriving in the community.
I'm enjoying connecting live with people. I think that I was doing pre-recorded videos, and then I realized the comments were like, oh, you should have asked them this, or you should have done that. And I'm like, oh, we should just do this live so people can geek out. I know AJ Popete, a fellow Mexican, I forget if it's Dominican or Puerto Rican, in New York, is geeking out because he loves both, Destiny too. So there's a lot of cross-pollination with our followers, and so it's exciting to kind of have these guests on, because it's highlighting the stuff that you do, and then giving us a chance to hang.
It's just
Mexican Dominican.
honestly, I've started using times when I guess with friends on stream as thank God I get to hang out. Thank you for poking me to do this.
You are so welcome. Can you hang with me 2 seconds while I do the shout outs, and then we'll disconnect? Awesomeness. AJ, your heart is weak. You're so funny. Okay, so we have, let me scroll up. Tony the Fox subscribed with Prime. AJ Popete subscribed with Prime. It's Skill a Kit subscribed 1 month tier 1. There was a hype train. Planting Jeans 86 cheered 1 bit. It's a skill kit cheered 250 bits. Another hype train, contributed a total of 3 sub gifts and 251 bits. So many words, man. Sally Monster gifted a 1 month tier sub to Wolf Sinclair. Thank you. That's so kind of you. AJ gave out 5 tier 1 community gift subs. Awesome, dude. Sally Monster subscribed for 1 month. Oh my God, there's so many subscriptions, guys. I'm tired. Dexter GJ cheered 1,500 bits. Ando cheered 100 bits. And Cobra Fox 18 cheered 10 bits. And you all get on Apagando las Luces. Keep booming and pooping. Boop.